Picture this. You're about to ask out your crush, but suddenly you start shaking. You're overthinking. Oh, and now you're sweating as well. Oh, now you're running away. Well, if you don't want that to happen to you, you better watch this video on how to instantly decrease that crippling anxiety of yours.
Breath work is the one thing that you can do right now to really reduce your anxiety and calm down. Now let me tell you something, there's so much science behind breath work. So much in fact that the Navy actually came up with their own concept of breath work. Navy box breathing is literally designed to help you calm down. That's how powerful this is. So what is Navy box breathing? What you do is that you inhale for 5 seconds. Then you're going to hold your breath for another 5 seconds. You're going to exhale for another 5 seconds. And then stay without any air at all for another 5 seconds. This box breathing has been proven to calm you down, to lower your heart rate, and thereby also reduce your anxiety. See, we can't really directly influence our heartbeat. I can raise my arm like this, but I can't tell my heart to stop beating, or at least beat a bit slower. But what we can do is influence it indirectly through our breathing. And this is why breathwork is so important. Another thing that you've probably heard about is the 4-7-8 technique, where you inhale for 4 seconds, you hold your breath for 7 seconds, and then you exhale for another 8 seconds. This is very powerful because another study showed that if you exhale for longer than you inhale, you're really calming down your heart rate. What we would suggest is that you just simply try out both techniques, the Navy box breathing and the 4-7-8 technique, and you really just try to see which one works best for you. It's a simple solution, and that's what makes this solution so good.
So another very effective thing you can do is get into the social flow.
Now that's a big one.
That means you talk to random people on the street, or you say things like, for example, what's the time, even if you have a watch, simply just to learn some social interactions. Well, you already know those, but you need to warm them up again. And that's really a very effective way, because I've noticed sometimes on days where I just spent all day in the house, for example, I was pretty socially incompetent all day when I went out. However, on days where I went to the gym before that, then I maybe got a haircut or something, I'm a lot more confident, I'm a lot better at creating conversations, at making conversations, is how a native person would say it. And this is very easy, and it even has instant effects. Just simply giving a person a compliment on their jacket, or, going to buy some food and quickly talking to the cashier will instantly elevate your mood and get you into a much more social flow. And it's really going to help you decrease that anxiety, because what you're going to do is you're going to stop focusing on yourself. You're going to get into the flow and stop overthinking, and eventually it's all going to become natural. Try it out.
Now another very effective technique that we have may sound incredibly simple, but this is actually a technique that we've taken from CBT, which stands for Cognitive Behavioral Therapy. It sounds incredibly simple, but it's literally just to label your physical sensations. When you find yourself going into a situation where your anxiety flares up, what you should do is label whatever you're feeling. My hands are a bit sweaty, my heart is racing, I'm feeling uncomfortable. This is the first step. This is to realize that you are not your sensations, you're not whatever you're feeling. The second step is to really distance yourself from whatever you're feeling right now. The way you do this is by saying, I notice that my hands are sweaty. I realize that my heartbeat is going up. It sounds incredibly simple, but it's literally used in the most effective therapy there is, CBT. So even though it sounds incredibly simple, this is very effective, and you should be using it to calm down your anxiety.
I remember walking down the street one day, and there was these people who were getting into a fight, and it started getting really violent, and suddenly I noticed all the adrenaline in my body. But as soon as I walked past, I realized I was in no danger whatsoever. But my body didn't realize yet. So I noticed my legs were tingling, my entire body was going crazy, and that was the time when I started meditating a lot. So I was able to notice all these sensations without judgment, and it was incredibly interesting. Just to label, oh wow, my legs are full of blood right now, helping me run if I'm in danger. All these different things were super interesting to observe, and it really calmed me down. And that's alpha.
So you basically look at your body from a very meditative state.
Third person view. Another pro tip from the Pablo's Pill team, which may seem very unusual, but is actually effective, is purposeful embarrassment. This means that you do something embarrassing like saying something funny to a stranger, or maybe being a bit of a menace in public. For example, wearing a cowboy hat, which is something that we've actually done before.
That was funny as shit, bro.
It was very funny. And what that's going to do is you're going to start not caring about what people think around you, because it's going to start realizing that people see you and they just instantly forget. They may laugh and stare in the moment, but afterwards you're really just going to stop caring. And your fear of being watched or something is just going to completely decrease, because you're going to realize how ridiculous it is to care what people think.
Now, one great thing about this is that you can actually implement all of these habits and do them on a daily basis, even when you're not feeling anxious. This is simply because all of these habits, for example breath work, not only have short-term effects in the moment, but also decrease your anxiety in the long run.
Wow, what a banging episode. Don't forget to check out this video as well. We'll see you there.